What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to q.v.o Games. My name is Juan. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. This video is going to be about the games coming to retail the week of May 29th. We have about 12 games to cover, and yeah, they all seem pretty cool so far. I really like them a lot. I like the fact a lot of them are Kickstarters, or they used to be on Kickstarter, and now they're coming to retail, which is great because that way we can get more games out to the people and less of that exclusivity, I guess. Which, I mean, the deluxe components can be exclusive. I don't mind that too much. But when a whole game only comes out on Kickstarter, it kind of sucks because you missed out on that. That's where the FOMO comes. But yeah, let's start right away. Full disclaimer, keep in mind, I am covering the game release dates in the United States of America. And some of these games, due to the global shipping crisis, can be delayed. However, I will try my best to keep you updated with all that information at all times. If you are a publisher and you want your game featured on these videos, please have the date of your game and the details email to me or DM to me the Friday before your game's release week. That would be the most helpful way, and the way we can get these games kind of out to people. And if you see a game in the video that may have been a wrong date or has been pushed back, please let me know so we can actually address that and have it in the details, and or do a update in this next video the following Monday. All right, let's get started right away. Star Trek Super Scope Pinball by WizKids coming out on May 30th. So this is going to be a reskin with the Star Trek on the old Super Scope Pinball, like the original game, with the Star Trek overskin. So the game is actually played, you roll the dice and you write down your numbers and scores and where exactly the ball is going by determining by the dice roll. That's super cool and interesting. It's like a roll and write. I would love to see more themes of different games or different themes implemented with this type of game. That's awesome. I'm not a big Star Trek fan myself. However, I would love to see more of those type of things come in. Like maybe even different old classic pinball machines just being brought into this. And that would probably even strike the attention of a lot more people. The game's really interesting. I love the way the pinball aspect is brought into a board game, how it's implemented mechanically. That's really cool and interesting. So it comes with 4 different pinball tables: Starfleet Academy, the Trouble Tribbles, Lower Decks, and Borg Attack. That's cool. It's going to be all different variants, of course, and different variety to play. This game's coming out May 30th by WizKids. Next game coming up is called Sniper Elite the Board Game. Sniper Elite the Board Game was on Kickstarter, I believe, about a year ago, if not less. And it's a hidden movement game. Where one person's playing as snipers and the other person is playing as the German soldiers trying to find them. I have been playing more hidden movement games and I seem to really enjoy them so far. So this is going to be an interesting one to pick up and try to check out. The game has some really a little bit different mechanics than just the hidden movement, which is interesting because they all have their different taste or flavor and how they do things. That's what I appreciate about this game a lot. It's just the theme or the mechanic itself is evolving and changing. They're adding things, and I feel like there's just so much more room within the hidden movement mechanic to kind of explore. So this game's Rebellion Unplugged, coming out May 31st. Sniper Elite the Board Game. Next game is going to be Space Station Phoenix by Rio Grande Games, coming out May 31st. So this is going to be a type of worker placement resource management game where you're also building a small engine of your resources. I'm interested in this game a little bit. The sci-fi theme is really cool and interesting, and I love that it looks like it has a lot of table presence, and I love how that looks. It's very abstract and not as boring as like the way games are just one board. I love the way games are evolving in that way as well. They're going into a way where it's not just one game board or just a rectangle on the table. It's more than that now. And that's one thing that really caught my attention about Space Station Phoenix. So the game itself is a worker placement resource management game, and you're basically in one of Earth's possible futures, and you're trying to build a space station and interact with humanity, essentially. The theme is really interesting, and I have played a couple of engine builders, and that's actually one mechanic I haven't explored too deeply. I would love to do that more often. Space Station Phoenix coming out May 31st by Rio Grande Games. Coming up next is going to be a popular one, May 31st, Carnegie. So Carnegie, I'm showing you the main box art here. It's pretty big. Art by Enotool. I mean, if you don't know who Enotool is, just check out a bunch of other games. He has literally been an artist for so many different games. So in Carnegie, it's going to be based around Andrew Carnegie, who was like a steelmaker in the United States, and he was one of the biggest roles in the rise of the U.S. in steel, right? So you're basically recruiting and managing employees, expanding your business, investing in real estate, and producing and selling goods to create transport chains across the U.S. You may even work with important personalities of the era. So that's kind of the game honestly has been a really big hit within the community. It's been around a lot. Also, this game was on Kickstarter as well, and now it's coming to retail on May 31st. The game looks interesting, and the game has been really, really well. It's been really well mentioned by everybody and anybody. The game looks awesome. If you look here at like just even the game board itself, I love like a good player board, and I'm curious to see like how exactly this works. I have yet to play it, and I want to. I actually missed on this Kickstarter as well, so I'm really happy it's coming to Kickstarter. It's coming to retail soon, and that's going to be a good one. This is going to be Carnegie by Quinn Games, coming out May 31st. Awesome. King's Cup Extreme coming out on June 1st, I believe. Yeah, June 1st. If you don't know what King's Cup is a party drinking game where you have a deck of cards, and it's like a 52 deck of cards, and each number that's pulled from the deck means something different, right? It's like, a waterfall, which means you drink, the next person drinks, the next person drinks until the first person stops drinking, which stops the waterfall. Or you point someone to drink their drink or chug their drink. Different stuff with drinking. The cool part about King's Cup Extreme is that the game actually comes with cards, and they tell you exactly what to do. Sometimes when you're playing King's Cup, I have played that game a couple of times, you actually have to have like a legend or like a menu up on your phone telling you what each card means, just so you're not asking everybody, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? So, and there's different really funny scenarios here with King's Cup Extreme. The card art's funny, it's interesting, it's a small box game, and if you're looking for drinking games, this is probably one you're going to want to pick up. It is by Lost Boy Entertainment, and it's coming out on June 1st, 2022. Coming up next is going to be, Picture Perfect's coming out with 2 different expansions on June 1st as well. If you don't know what Picture Perfect is, it's a game where you're trying to set up people who have different wants and how they want to be set up for a picture. And these are going to be 2 and you do that essentially by, there's a little bit of deduction involved with the game as well, and you're trying to set these people up the best way possible, and depending on how you set them up, there's like lower points, higher points, mid points, depending on your positioning of the person. So this is going to add the Movie Star expansion. The Movie Star expansion, it's there's going to be basically just more, there's going to be celebrities involved now who are going to have different wants or higher wants, and people are going to want to sit or stand next to these people more often. It just adds like a different obstacle or piece or place to place this person in. That's what this Movie Star expansion does. It's coming out June 1st. Their next one is going to be Picture Perfect, the Pickpocket expansion. By the way, both games by Arcane Wonders. It actually has been like a pretty well reviewed, I guess, by the communities, the boarding communities. It's really interesting, and this is going to be the Pickpocket expansion. The Pickpocket, basically, you want to put him somewhere where he can strike, and he can be okay to swipe things from people's pockets. That's going to be this type of expansion, and it's coming out on June 1st. Picture Perfect, the Pickpocket expansion. Next up is Turning Tides. So Turning Tides was also on Kickstarter and is now coming to retail. It's a 1v1 or like a head-to-head type of game. What I've noticed a lot of trends with this, there's been so many 1v1 games or 2-player games coming out. And it's funny because I've been talking about the way I need a couple in my collection. So interesting one here. You basically are taking control of a ship. You're both your enemy and yourself. You're taking over 2 of your 2 ships. I can't say that. You're taking over 2 ships, one and the other. So you and your enemy are taking over 2 ships. You and your enemy are taking over a ship, one and another. So you guys are both taking over one ship, and you're going to be positioning your cannons, your crewmates, to be shooting at each other and trying to destroy the person's ship. It's going to be like a like a card drawer, and you're having a little bit of area control and modular movement. So you're going to be playing the cards, and each card is going to represent something different. And the game actually plays simultaneously. You're not playing this game turn-based, which is really interesting. Here are a couple pictures. The game looks really interesting. It looks like a small box game, or a pretty small box game. The components look nice. The board looks really cool. I'm kind of curious to learn more about the game. So far, I haven't really found anything, not even coverage on by other people. So I wonder if they even did like a marketing run through, or even let some review copies out. Your whole goal is to sink the enemy ship. That's basically it. This is called Turning Tides, coming out on June 1st. So coming out June 3rd is going to be Pocket Master Builder. Pocket Master Builder is another head-to-head game, 1 versus 1. And it's also like a small box game. You're basically collecting raw material to construct different architects or buildings, right? You're basically an architect collecting different materials. You're trying to build walls to resist the invasion of northern barbarians and use the King's Road properly to speed up your progress. The player with the most honor or victory points of the game ends. So players, you play cards in the kingdom area, place workers on the edge of the card to collect resources, and then you use resources to construct a building. So it's like a head-to-head hand management drafting game or tile placement game. Here are a couple pictures as well. It looks like it's all just cards. It looks deep and interesting for being just a card game, and that's what's kind of interesting too. So lately I've been actually opening my horizons more to different card games and playing more card games. There's actually some really cool ones, and the things they do with those cards is just very different in variety. There's a lot of variety to it, and the mechanics can be interesting. So I'm actually curious to be picking up more games that are just particularly card games. I think the thing about card games sometimes to me is that the games sometimes have a really hefty price on them. When you're paying like $140 for like, $140 for 300 cards, that's a lot for like cards to begin with. I mean, I want to say like a Marvel Champions pack comes with 40 to 50 cards and like $15, $10. So it really just depends on how high quality, how high quality is the gameplay, and is it worth paying so much money for cards? I don't think this game's gonna be that much. It's just a small box game, honestly, coming out June 3rd. I'm not too sure. That's kind of your goal of the game is to build 6 buildings, and that triggers the game end. So the game looks interesting. I'm curious to pick it up. It is a head-to-head, it's a 1v1 type of game, and it's also a card game. That's going to be Pocket Master Builder, coming out June 3rd. Awesome. Another game that was on Kickstarter is now coming to retail by Themeborn is going to be Escape the Dark Sector. So the 3 expansions actually for Escape the Dark Sector. The main game is already out, and it's called Escape the Dark Sector. However, these are the expansions, Mission Pack 1, 2, and 3. This one's called Mission Pack 1, Twisted Tech. So if you haven't played Escape the Dark Sector, what are you doing? Go play that game like right now. I'm serious. It's such a fun and great game. It's really hard to go wrong. And if you don't like the sci-fi theme, I do recommend for beginners Dark Castle. Escape the Dark Castle, which is another game they own. That game itself is such a fun game and thematic game. It has so much rich storytelling. I love it so much. And the ambiance and it sets for like the gameplay is just so much fun. So these expansions, they did it for Escape the Dark Castle as well. They have 3 different ones. I don't know the names off the top of my head. I do know I own them because they're behind the far end there, little Calit's Cube. So in the expansion itself, it usually adds more characters, different encounters, new dice, new mechanics, typically new items to pick up, new end stories. So in this one in particular, you get a new boss card, 12 new chapter cards, 9 new item cards, new drone cards, new dice, supplemental rulebook, and new mechanics. Like I said, Dark Sector is kind of like the more mechanically advanced one than Dark Castle. However, they're both really great games. It just also depends what's your favorite type of theme, right? Dark Castle is more medieval, old, I guess, ish. And then there's Escape the Dark Sector, which is more of a sci-fi theme. Both games are great. This is going to be Mission Pack 1 for Twisted Tech. It comes with a bunch of new stuff. I backed this, so I'm waiting for my pledge to come in soon. And I cannot recommend you enough to pick up this game. It's such a great game. Mission Pack 2 Mutant Syndrome. So this same thing, right? This is going to be the second mission pack. Comes with a new boss card, 12 new chapter cards, 3 new crew cards. This is just other characters you can choose from at the beginning. 9 new item cards, 4 new dice, 1 supplemental rulebook, and 1 new mechanic. So, like I said, you do require a copy of Escape the Dark Sector to play these games. It's just an expansion, adds a couple more. The base game alone will be enough to last you a little bit. You can probably get 3 times you play it, you'll be able to play almost everything because it typically comes with 3 different endings and about 45 cards, I guess, from the main pack. This is going to be Mission Pack number 3, Quantum Rift. Same thing, 1 new boss card, 12 new chapter cards, 3 new crew cards, 8 artifact cards, 1 new item card, 4 new dice, and 1 supplemental rulebook and new mechanic, time travel. Each expansion adds some more to it, and you can mix and match all the expansions so you make like a really intricate, high mechanical game. So that's Escape the Dark Sector. They also do have a collector's box as well, which I actually just got in the mail. I'm looking right at it right now, and I'm excited to, like I said, play the game, start playing the game already. I like to usually play through the original about 3-4 times. Then I move on to Mission Pack 1, then 2, then 3, and then I mix it all together and just play one big game. Great game. You really just can't miss out. Escape the Dark Sector, Escape the Dark Castle, Themeborn released some really good games. They even have a new game out, I believe, on Kickstarter. We'll go over that in a different video. Thank you so much for being here. And if you made it to the end so far, thank you. I appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. I would appreciate it a lot. Let's talk games. Let's chat about games. If you see anything that's wrong in the video or a date or something's backed up, please let me know in the comments or just message me and we can put in the description, update it for everyone to know. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Have a great day.